Have you ever wondered if a simple trading system could consistently make money? I've been using one that has consistently rewarded me for the last 7 years. In today's video, I'm excited to share with you a detailed breakdown of this super simple but effective setup. Welcome back everyone to the 5ers YouTube channel, your go-to place to becoming a better trader and to achieving your goals of consistent profitability. My name is Jonathan Andin and I've been a professional trader for the last 7 years. And my approach is very straightforward, focusing on the core principles of technical analysis. In today's video, I'm going to show an example of a trade that we took in the 5ers Live Trading Room. No, holy goddamn, look at that. It broke out. We are rich. And if you want to see more examples like this one, make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to join us in the Live Trading Room right here on YouTube every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 9 a.m. EST. The setup I'm about to show you is based on the core principles of technical analysis, which is market structure, horizontal levels, and then I'm looking at a break of structure. And I'm doing this using a top-down analysis. And what that means is I'm looking at first the higher time frames, and then I'm zooming in, going lower into the time frame. So I'm starting with the daily, I'm then going into the 4-hour, and then the 1 hour, and finally the 15-minute and the 5-minute. So we're gonna start by looking at the daily time frame here, and what we see on Euro JPY here is, in my opinion, quite the obvious range with equal lows and equal highs. So I'm going to select the fib tool here. I'm going to select the range template of the fib tool. This gives me the 1, the 0, and the 0.5 fibs. So I'm going to place it at the lows and then drag it up to the highs to make it clear what I'm watching. We're watching this range here, and then I'm going to move forward here with replay function on TradingView, and you can see that we have one, what I would say is a fake out here of range highs, moving lower here on the daily. Now obviously the whole idea here would be to just look for a possible trade here on Euro JPY if we break above the range highs right here. So just looking at the daily, we would probably have an alert set for potentially right above the range highs, somewhere around that area here. So that would be an area where we want to have an alert. And we now know that there's a fake out on the daily. Let's move down into the 4-hour to see what the actual structure looks like here. Because if we get, so we know that this is the fake out right now. If we get something like this, where we start moving higher here, we have somewhat of a change in behavior here. We have one test of resistance, and you can look at other touches of this resistance. You have one major rejection here, another major rejection. Now, if this rejection is not as strong and we instead maybe bounce somewhere in that down in this area and then start moving higher, we have a change in behavior. And in my opinion, I think it's highly likely that the next push to the upside would be a real breakout, and that's the move that we want to be trading. So now that we have the breakout, we're going to be going into the lower time frames to see if we can find a decent trend to trade. So the 1 hour, we have a nice looking breakout here on the 1 hour, and let's go into the 15-minute. We have a good looking trend here on the 15-minute with higher highs and higher lows. Now that we have this good looking trend on the 15-minute, let's go into the 5-minute to see if we can get any sniper entries on this trend right here. And I do think I see something right here. So remember, looking at the market structure in the trend analysis video, we want to make sure that we go by the idea of trading the break and retest. We have a trend with higher highs and high lows, we have a horizontal level, we have a break, and we have a retest, and that's what we want to be trading. So I'm using the fib tool here. I'm going to be adding the from the low to the high. You can pause the video and look at which fibs I have here. Moving on here, I'm going to be extending the fib to the right here. And now what I want to see here on the 5-minute is I basically want to see a bounce somewhere in this area where we also have the 50% fib, or perhaps a move down into the reload zone, this area right here. Let's see. We're going to be using the replay function here again. We're going to be playing forward. Like, you know, already said, this is a trade that we took in the live trading room. So this is, you can actually go back and see this trade taken live. So now we have a nice bounce here on the 5-minute right here. Would we want to take this trade right here? Now I want some extra confirmation. I like this structure because now what we're getting, and I think we can also go into the 1 minute here. And on the 1 minute, we want to see this rounded structure. So let's go into the 1 minute, and we have that double bottom on the 1 minute. Absolutely beautiful. We have a rounded structure and we have a double bottom, a W on the 1 minute. Beautiful. So on the 5 minute, I think we can actually enter at market on that candle, and then I would put my stop loss below the 0.618, give it some extra room. It's about 1 hour up to the last local high. So in this case right here, I would just move my stops to entry when we have the breakout. And of course, we have the stochastics RSI. The stochastics RSI needs to be below 30 when taking an entry. We also have that bull cross on the stochastics RSI. That's crucial. Let's see what happens. And we break out. Now, what we have on this trade is we have, you could say we have a free trade. We have stops at entry, maybe slightly in profit here. So that's a stop on that trade. And we would now let this one run. And how do we determine where we want to place our TP? So for a scalp like this, I would like to have higher TPs in case price runs to a higher target on the higher time frame. That's how we get those scalp entries with high time frame confluence. So let's go back out to the daily. Do we have any interesting levels here on the daily? Yes, I do think we have a pretty decent level right here. And then we have another one right here. Let's just go with the first one. Let's just go with the first one. Where is that? Well, it's going to be all the way up here. All the way up here. That would be an insane trade, right? An absolutely insane trade. 6.7 hours, something like that. Let's continue now. Let's continue and see if we can get another entry in this trend using the exact same technique, same technique. Well, it looks pretty good, right? We can add a fib from that low to this. You know what? Let's remove the first fib just to not make it too messy. And we look at the 5 minute here. Yeah, I would say because we now have the other trade, if it hits stop loss down here, we're basically not gonna lose any money. I think we can go into the 1 minute to see if we look at that. We have the exact same structure, a double bottom on the 1 minute. Do we have a bullish engulfing on the 5 minute? Yeah, that's a pretty good candle right there. So let's either we could have entered on that first bullish engulfing candle, but now let's just say we enter at market on that one, and we want to make sure we have a stop loss below the 0.618, give it enough room to run. And the target for this one is just going to be the same as the other one. So now we have one free trade and one with risk, and let's see what happens here. And it's going to be risky, and now we break out. When we break this high, I want to make sure that I give it just a little bit more room to run before I move stops to entry. And when we break above that high, I can now move my stops on both trades. I can move the stop under that low because we now have a higher low. Let's see if this can run up to that profit target, the first profit target right there. And of course, I would be glad with that hitting because this is honestly like this. And now we have a breakout, so we can now move the stop up to those highs or to those lows. And that's the profit target hitting. You can go back to the daily. You can now see the daily is nicely hitting those targets right there as we marked out on the daily. That's a beautiful candle on daily. So what we did here, now honestly, if you would have taken something like this live, you wouldn't have gotten a 6.64 hour trade plus a 5.52 hour trade. Very, very high risk to reward. Now, obviously, this is, you know, I'm showing you this in replay, and it's obviously not live trading, but you can go back to the live trading rooms to see where I took this trade live with the trading room. So just a quick recap. What we did here was we looked at the daily to try to get a good idea of the overall structure of the high time frames. We saw a level and we said, if we break above this level, I want to find a trend to trade on the lower time frames, and that trend needs to be aligning with the daily 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, and the 5 minute. And we also use the 1 minute to look for confirmation as well. So this is a system that is based on the very core fundamental principles of technical analysis, which is market structure, trend analysis, and horizontal levels. And then we're applying the technique of break and retest, which is a very, very, very simple way of trading. And as you can see, can also be very, very profitable. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did creating it. Now, if you do have any questions at all about what I've talked about today, let me know in the comments and I will gladly help you guys out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.